The storm howled across the ridge, a relentless beast of wind and ice. Elias stood at the edge of the pen, his lantern casting long, flickering shadows against the wooden slats. He counted the flock again. 99. The count was off by 1. Logic whispered to him that a 99% retention rate was a triumph. A sensible man would latch the gate, seek the warmth of his hearth, and call it a night. But Elias looked into the dark, thinking of the one slow straggler alone in the cold. Elias did not latch the gate. He grabbed his heavy wool cloak and stepped into the biting wind. The wilderness was a maze of jagged rocks and hidden ravines. He climbed the north ridge, his boots slipping on wet shale while every muscle in his legs burned with a dull, throbbing heat. He scanned the dark gullies, calling out into the freezing silence, but only the wind answered. Hours passed. His lantern flame sputtered and died, leaving him in a world of total, suffocating darkness. He pushed forward, feeling his way along the freezing cliff face by touch alone. Suddenly, a faint, rhythmic bleating echoed from a narrow crevice. Elias crawled into the mud, his hands scraping against sharp stones until they bled. He reached deep into the gap. His fingers brushed soft, matted wool. He found it. The sheep was shivering, its leg wedged firmly between 2 boulders, eyes wide with terror. Elias did not shout in frustration. He did not raise his staff to strike the animal for its wandering. Instead, he knelt in the dirt, speaking softly into the storm. He used his remaining strength to lift the heavy, sodden animal, draping it carefully across his shoulders. The weight was immense, pressing into his neck and lungs, but he stood firm against the gale. The trek back was a slow, agonizing descent. He climbed down the mountain with the sheep held tight against his chest, shielding it from the needles of ice with his own body. Every step was a battle against gravity and exhaustion, but the life against his heart kept him moving. When he reached the valley floor, the lights of his home glowed like a sanctuary. He carried the sheep through the front door and set it down by the roaring hearth. He brought out his finest bread and wine, calling to his neighbors to join him. Their voices filled the house with laughter as the fire danced. The sheep stood safe in the warmth, watching the celebration. Elias sat back, wiping the mud from his boots. He had risked everything for the one, and finally, the count was complete.